Man, we are live. Sweet. This is the first time we are live out of on Facebook. Super pumped. Think this is gonna be a good new thing, and we are Media Gang and Stories from the Sideline podcast is gonna start moving towards live shows moving forward. Um, First time doing it. It's a little bit of a technical difficulty, and we'll see how it goes though. Should be good. This episode is actually going to be focused on a lot of questions that Sam and I have gotten about being in paintball photography or videography, and what is the media gang, and like what we're trying to accomplish with it. Uh, so yeah, as people start hopping in, we'll start answering some questions. We have some questions already on hand that we're able to answer, but we hope to make this a pretty good dialogue.
Yeah. And anyone feel free to ask questions, and we can answer them as they come in.
Cool. So I guess let's dive in. Well, what's some questions that we have?
So we do have a bunch. Some of them are jokes, some of them aren't. But I'm going to start with some of the non-joke ones. So the first thing someone asked was, "How do we make it onto the pro field?"
I mean, I haven't even made it on the pro field, so that's a question for you, Sam.
Okay, so it's easy and not at the same time. Personally, for me, I was in it for a little while. I was not on the pro field, but just in paintball photography in general for a little while. And I always practiced. That's the biggest thing, was just practicing, getting better editing, getting better at figuring out where you can shoot, how you can shoot, stuff like that. And eventually HK Army, David Quitman specifically, noticed me and him were friends for a little bit, but they finally noticed me through photography. And one of the events, they needed someone on the field, and he gave me a shot. And that's where I've been since. Pretty much every event since, I think it was Texas last year, I've been on the pro field.
So, I mean, do you think that getting on the pro field it's a lot of networking? I mean, we talked about it with Stretch of how the biggest skill to get in is the ability to network with people. I mean, photographers' quality kind of goes up and down, but really it's who you know that kind of gets you in the door first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with that actually. So your work does have to stand out in a way that it, is better than anyone else. Usually it goes by regions. I find that if someone lives closer to like GI, to like their headquarters, they'll probably have a better opportunity than someone who doesn't, unless they've just worked together for so long. Same thing with HK. I've noticed that people over there in California will generally get a better deal because they know them. They're there every single weekend, always shooting, stuff like that, and that's not a bad thing at all. They stand out in their areas. So it is networking, getting to know the companies. If you are real close with like Virtue or something, and you're always taking pictures and they're always liking them, stuff like that, that's a very easy way to get in, is by, hitting them up. Maybe one of the events they don't have a photographer, or they need a second photographer, because I think platinum vendors get 2 pro passes. So they'll need a second person. They'll send you out there to try it out. But your work does have to stand out originally to even get noticed like that.
Yeah, I mean, John Moran from Ruthless Paintball saying, "Get that portfolio." Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to stand out. I mean, somebody that also got a pro pass pretty quickly, but I mean, I believe he deserves it. Is Jonathan Grego? Shout out Photos by JG. I mean, the man does incredible work, and I think his action pictures are solid. He's a good homie, but I think where he stands out the most is I think he takes some of the best candidates.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I mean, dude knows how to capture emotion and moments, and he does that super well. Not saying that his action shots are bad, but I personally like his candidates more than anything.
Yeah. Everyone has a place they specialize in. I know personally I'm pretty weak in the candid section, just not generally off the field enough to do it. And he does shine really well in there, especially when he like does black and white. He knows when to do it, because black and white doesn't always have a place in paintball, but he knows when it has a place.
I totally agree, and I try to throw some black and white pictures in, it's tough. I feel like at least personally, like when I get a photo that has like a lot of shadow, like or like it's early in the morning and the sun's kind of just still creeping up and you see people get behind shadows, like that's when I like to play with black and whites a little bit because I feel like it's a little bit more of a seamless transition from colors to black and white when I feel like some people they just push it. They push it too hard. It's like, I don't have any black and white photos in this album. It's like, fuck it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
black and white this one.
They do it. They definitely do that. I still think that the best black and white photos are definitely done by Inside the Net, from Inside the Net.
Yeah, he does.
Can't beat his.
Brad does great black and white photos, and so does George. Fava,
Yeah, George does.
Yeah, I mean, and talk about taking black and white to the extreme. He is just like, I mean, when it's black, his black and white is like, it is pitch black. You're not seeing anything, and then the brightest white next to it. I don't know how he does that, and I know that Bryce does that with his portrait stuff. But I mean, he's in a studio setting comparatively to when Fava's at the field, and it's an action shot. It's just, I don't even know how you got the lighting to do that correctly, but so be it.
Way harder on a field than in a portrait, or than in a studio.
Oh
setting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. We do have more questions. That's not the only one. So, let's continue. Another question we got was, someone's interested to know how we start shooting. This particular person does have experience, but they want to know how to start because, you can. Some people don't think you can just hop in, but in reality, you can just hop in.
It's 100% that you could just hop in.
Mm-hmm. It's just a dive.
Yeah. I will say there is, to be happy when you first start, there is certain equipment that you really do want to get. I mean, and I'll be the first person to say it because I personally didn't do it until I was ready to blow the 5K, whatever it was, to really get into it. And that was me getting a Canon 7D Mark II, which most of my friends were Canon shooters. They were big fans. I always knew that the 7D was good, and then when the Mark II came out, it was still a little bit on the older side when I first got it, and I've been shooting now since September 2018, so about 2 full years now. And then I got the 7200 2.8L lens with IS. I mean, the body isn't as important as the lens is. I think for at least shooting paintball, like
generally,
really,
you're right.
Yeah, you want to have that longer length so that you could get the middle of the field. The 7200 kind of gives you like the most play. There's like the 100 to 300 as well.
Yeah,
something like that.
120 to 300 2.8 from Sigma.
Yeah, I mean, just even from Canon. Just not even going into these like other brands of lenses and stuff. But yeah, and I waited till I could get the 2.8 because everybody that I've talked to, all my friends that are in media, they all said you're gonna get an f4, and then at some point you're gonna want more of a bokeh on your pictures, and you're gonna then upgrade to the 2.8. So I said, so personally, I waited it out so I can just go straight for the 2.8 and not have to go through that process. But I mean, you can go through that process depending on what your budgeting is, and like, dude, even an f4, like it's half the price, like,
yeah,
and you'll still get tons of great pictures.
It's one of the sharpest lenses Canon makes.
100%. Yeah, like it's not like you're not gonna get good pictures. You're just not gonna get the same pictures, and especially at the speeds that we're shooting for shutter speed, like the bokeh, like it's there, like it's a little bit more noticeable than on an f4, but even still, like, yeah. I wouldn't even worry about it. For somebody that's getting into it, like just get an f4, like if you're on a budget constraint, and you'll be totally fine.
We have a few friends that do it. Pickle uses f4.
Yeah, and his pictures are good. I like his pictures. I mean, he's starting to do more video, and I'm excited, and I really want to see the video that he's been capturing because I don't think he's posted it anywhere.
No, we'll see it soon. I actually got into the photography part a little bit different than you. I was not ready at all. I
Yeah.
got a T3 for like $200 with a kit lens, and I
That's
shot
what
with
most
that.
but that's what most people do though. That like
Yeah,
the vast majority of people that are doing it, like they go that route. They get like a rebel with whatever kit lens and they go out and they slowly do it. I mean, Matt Dunn sold his photography. I mean, I remember when he first started. I did not care for any of his. I'll be the first person to say it. I love Matt to death, but I did not care for any of his pictures or his footage. Like, it wasn't that good. Um, but like it was where he started. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And there's the budget that he started
yeah.
with, and he worked up from there.
And
I
I will say, my entry level camera, which I upgraded to a T6, I still have my favorite photos of all time when Houston Heat won the first finals in at Cup. I think it was 2018. I'm pretty sure. And I know that wasn't their first time, but that was like the first time within the last 3 years. Um, they're still my favorite candidates of all time. I got lucky. I was able to get into the pits. I wasn't allowed on the field, but I was able to get into the pits through a few friends that allowed me the opportunity to do that, which is not allowed. But once we go back to networking, if you're friends with the right people, they will help you do some things within the rules, within their own rules.
Yeah,
I'll just say it was Gary.
yeah. Shout out Gary. I mean,
like
he's
like
the
he
guy to
can't
know.
he's not going to get
Godfather of
mad at
paintball.
any yeah he can't get mad at anybody now because it was him that gave me permission. um who let me into the pits, and I still have my favorite photos of all time as far as candids go from that. And yeah, I just upgraded from there. Sometimes you got to work with your budget, and that's okay, but I do recommend, if you're going to be working on a budget, put most of that budget into the lens. As Rob said, it's the most important aspect.
100%. And I mean, really, what personally pushed me into paintball photography was doing stuff for Kinetic. Like, I wasn't going to events at the time, and I was relying on teams to hopefully get hire a photographer and like scavenge the internet for content and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Forget about it. Like, I've always wanted to do this. I never had the chance. I've been working for 2 years at my post college job. And I had the money to do it. And it's just like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna create all my own content for my company, and that's what pushed me over the edge. And I've been super happy ever since.
So
It's a different side of paintball that not a ton of people get to experience, and especially at the national level. Um, yeah, I wouldn't trade it for the world. As much as I enjoy playing, I enjoy hanging out with my friends at the field, just taking pictures.
no, we did just talk about that, but we didn't really talk about getting into it. And
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just going to give a very simple answer for that, because to me, it's a very simple answer. If you got the gear, you're ready to go do it, you can take a paintball shot, go to the field at a practice, start shooting.
yeah.
I
Shoot
shot
as
my
much as you
first
can.
tournament. I shot my first tournament completely for free. Shout out to Alex Sidell for helping me do that. I didn't charge any teams. I didn't lose or win or gain anything. I was already out there. I just shot it for free, gave everyone their pictures for free, and I continued doing that until I felt comfortable charging, because I wasn't comfortable for the first year and a half. I felt like my work wasn't up to snub, and then finally I started charging and got the ball rolling. But practice,
Yeah.
practice, practice.
Oh yeah. I mean, God, dude, my first event ever taking pictures was World Cup 2018, doing it for Kinetic, and just free pictures to whoever, to like all my teams and stuff, and like to my friends and whatnot, because I was still super green and super new. I mean, it's tough to charge for pictures, um, because what a lot of people definitely don't even understand about charging for pictures is when you become a photographer for hire, you become part of this community. And if you're not ready to give out the quality of content that is at a similar level to your peers, you dilute the whole community. I mean, we've had these conversations at the house with George and everybody at the house. I mean, we all pretty much charge about the same price. I mean, I don't charge anything at NXL events because I got to shoot my teams or whatever. But even still, like now, like I've shot the first like TSXL event by me, and like my just for photos was $200, but like it's 3 X ball matches pretty much guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's more matches being able to 100% be at than what people would be doing at NXL. But you have to be able to provide the right amount of content for it and the quality of content. I mean, we've seen it with people that will charge like $100 or even less at NXL events to get hired so they can take on 10, 12 teams. And then they're swamped with running field to field. They're not giving their teams enough coverage. They're not putting out enough pictures. Especially like if they're still pretty new, like they're not the vast majority of their pictures aren't usable because they're slightly out of focus and things like that. I mean, like there's stuff like that.
Not even necessarily just that. Not even necessarily just that. The problem with that too, for the people themselves, not even, they're not providing quality work that they should be providing at whatever price range they're having. The problem with that is them. They're losing money. They spend $400 for a flight, $200 for a hotel. So they're already at $600. They have to take 6 teams to break even. So they're losing money. So they're not going to be going to nationals very long unless they start upgrading, updating their prices. But some of these people, and not going to name names, they all have to get better and stuff. Some of these people, the biggest reason people are hiring them is because they're charging $100. Yeah. It's not because their work is quality and they love them. It's because they're charging $100. They can get, they can get their pictures and they don't have to spend much money on top of what NXL costs, which is understandable but high.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and you'll see the teams that are always going to NXL events for the most part, they hire the same people that are always going. Like you'll always see Camille, Pineapple Productions, always working. He normally takes a bunch of teams. He normally takes between 6 to 10 teams, but a lot of it is raw. A lot of it's raw footage. You know what I mean? So like, be there for a match or two, and then you're good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stretch takes just about the same amount of teams. Fava is working for Planet Eclipse, and then he'll take, I think, maybe 2 to 3 teams in the divisionals.
I think his max is at 3 teams, but he offers everything, photo, video at the same time. Like that's what his whole deal is. I'm pretty sure, unless he changed it.
It depends what's going on. So like if he's shooting video like on the pro field that day, like he'll come over and be like, I'll shoot video for you guys, like if you don't mind, just because I don't want to change up my stuff. I've seen him do that. But I mean, Jackson Hobbs like also gets the consistent. You know what I mean? They consistently put out quality content, and the teams that are consistently at events, they will always get hired. Even though like every media person knows that like you really don't get hired until like 3 weeks before the event, because nobody pays time, or early. It's always the last thing that people.
Oh my gosh! So we pay for our flights and hotels, and then we figure out the teams. That's how it works.
There we go. Brian Joseph Wolf. Pretty sure that's verbal. Yeah. He can't even advertise because the same teams pick him up. It's because you are consistent at what you do. You put out quality work. And honestly, the GIFs that you put together of like 3,000
pictures. Oh my gosh, stop. I'm not whatever. If you say GIFs.
The GIFs that you put out are absolutely incredible. And I don't know how you get your images so sharp the whole way through.
That's talent is what it is.
That is pure talent.
But me and you do not have.
I definitely don't have that. And I really hope that he's charging an ass load of money for his teams, because I can only imagine like how big the albums he gives his teams.
Well, I think I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he just picks a few out of those, like the best of them, and then he makes the gifts for himself. The albums, he probably still gives huge albums, but that's probably not part of it.
Yeah. He's part of the Sony gang, Sony A9. I know. I already saw it. He's in the Sony gang. It's okay. You can sit with John and Ali at your cool kids table.
Okay.
Okay. And Sam's there too.
Okay. So we have some more things. This isn't going to be super long like the rest of the episodes. Those other ones are like an hour and a half minimum, and we don't have a guest, so we don't need to be at an hour and a half. Someone asked, and I'm going to try to word this a bit better because I feel like it was just typed out randomly. But okay. When do you start taking pictures of people once they're in the bunker to not give them away, like to not bird dog them? So personally for me, I'm going to answer it first because it's on my thing. Personally for me, I'll start taking pictures of them before they go to their bunker. And if it's a fast move, like where the refs didn't really like watch like that or anything like that, then I'll stop after they get to their bunker. I'll move. I'll keep my camera pointed this way if they're over here for a few seconds. Then I'll move. When they make a move, all the refs are looking at them. Players already know they moved unless they're not paying attention. So I sometimes take pictures like that, but for the most part, take the picture, hold there for a few seconds so that way they made their move safely and people still see you pointed off whoever where they were, and then move out of the way so that way you don't get shot and it doesn't give them away if you do have to point towards them again. Pointing
You're way nicer than I am. I could care less. There's no way. There's no way. Man. Like, that's what a lot of people think. I feel like people is like, oh, like you're intentionally bird dogging. Is like, if I'm shooting a team, I want them to go on for the most part. For the most part, you know what I mean? Especially like since I shoot for kinetic, like I want my teams to move on. Like,
you want them to win.
Exactly. You know, there are. Don't get me wrong. Like if I'm shooting some random event and every single one of my teams gets knocked out and I'm shooting my last team, yeah, I kind of want them to lose so I can go home. It makes my day shorter and like get to go home. Like,
yeah,
that's what some people realize. Some people don't. Is that we are there basically when the refs show up and when the refs leave. You know what I mean? So like if one team makes it through, we have to be there the whole day just for that one team. Or like even like individuals, like that's probably even worse. Like if you get an individual and they go all the way, it's like I have to be here because like,
even if you aren't taking pictures of them anymore because you got plenty, you have to make sure you have to see if they podium, because if they podium, that's a picture you have to get.
Exactly.
So even if you just walk off and go do something else because you've gotten 16 points and you have 5,000 pictures of them, you still might need those last 3.
Exactly. And like when it comes to bird dogging, like any smart paintball player, and especially like higher divisional fields, like yes, like photographers can bird dog somebody, but like nobody does it intentionally. Anybody that thinks that a photographer bird dogs somebody intentionally is stupid, because we wouldn't bird dog our own teams.
Yeah.
Like to get shot out. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, there have been times where like I've been shooting like somebody and like walking down the field or like shooting somebody, and I've seen somebody about to get run down, and I'll duck, and then somebody will turn around and shoot that guy. It's like, yeah, but like at that point, it's like, yes, that could be considered bird dogging, but at the same time, it's like I'm not trying to get shot. I'm out there in a short sleeve shirt and shorts, and I got like $3 to $4 grand in my hand. Like I don't want to get shot. Like, and if you're gonna call that bird dogging, is like, all right, give me your car. I'm gonna dump paint on it. You know, like it's.
I wouldn't consider that bird dogging. I do know I do this, and I've seen you do it too. Stretch do it too. When you're shooting somebody in D1, you'll be at D3 or 50 pointed at them.
Yeah, and
that helps a lot because you could be shooting anywhere along that line. Doesn't matter where. So it's definitely better to do that in my personal opinion. And the pictures look better. It looks like they're more coming at you instead of coming next to you. So it definitely is better in both aspects, in my opinion. I mean, I know that I like to shoot forward just because when they move, it looks, closer to being in front of them.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's for me personally, like I try to get almost any angle that I can. You see me on the field. Like I'll lay down in like weird angles. Like it doesn't even make sense to try to like get that 2 or 3 frames that you can't get anywhere else by laying on that. So like, for example, I forgot what event it was, but I was laying next to the corner, but instead of like laying towards the back and then shooting like the back line, I was laying the other way so I can shoot the guy running through this little gap in between like the God. It was like the God and the corner, and then like where the beam was, and then that gap. Because if I laid the other way to try to shoot it, like it's too hard to go like this. But if I laid forward aiming downfield, I gotta wait for him to come through, but I can get him
the entire way.
Up. Yeah, and I could get him the entire way.
And I do know you wanted to share at some point, I don't know when, but you wanted to share like Lightroom. I don't know if you still want to do that.
Yeah, right here. I'll pull some stuff up, because I know some people were asking for examples. So I mean, what were some examples that people were asking about?
Let me take a look. Let's see. When photographing someone running straight from the gate to a snake, corner, Dorito, wherever, do you want to take continuous shots standing near the bunker they're running to, or would you rather be off to the side and catch them diving? And personally, I'd rather be off to the side, but it depends on how many diving. Like Fedorov, there was an event that all he did was go to the corner and dive, and I got 30, 40 shots of it, and I was like, all right, it's cool, but I need to get other people.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially for that, like you're gonna want to do both. I don't think it's do I want to do this or do I want to do that. It's I want to do both, especially because now if somebody's going to the same spot consistently, like you want to get the different angles of how it is. And I have let's see. There is wait here, I'll pull up these pictures of Pickle from here we go.
Vegas?
Yeah, from Vegas. Here we go. Pictures of Pickle. Shout out Pickle.
I don't know if it's sharing because I don't see it, but
is it not sharing?
Make sure you click share screen on here.
Oh, true. Sorry.
Now, if you can share it on there, that's great, but I can't see it. So
yeah, no. Right here, I'll share my screen. Boom.
There it goes.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go. This is him running straight forward, and this is a cool sequence. Like I'm a big fan of this. But
yeah, I like that.
You can get this more like to the side, which I did like right here. Like it's more to the side, and now just that slight tweak, it's now a different type of shot, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you cut off his foot there, so it's not even usable.
Yeah. So I mean, like I wouldn't be able to get that before.
Yeah, you show different things when you get a different angle. Like him putting his hand up, you might not get that when a straight on dive, but you see it when you're in front of him a little bit.
Exactly. It's I don't think like I think some people will have more of a preference than others about certain shots. So like they'll prioritize that shot. It's like I know like for me, especially like if a snake beam is like angled in, I know for a fact that at least one time somebody's going to go up and then over and dive straight in, and I'm gonna prioritize that shot first because it's a good shot to get, and a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
And then from then on, then I'll kind of move to the side and kind of get that side angle of them diving in. Shout out Justin Reyes. He says, "Hey dads, love him."
Good, hi, Justin.
Good dude. Love that mullet. But I mean, it's going back to the pictures. Like I think it's very dependent on the layout, what you personally like. And if you know your customer and what they like, then you can try to tailor the shots that you're getting to it. Because at the end of the day, like when you're a photographer, you're a service. You're trying to please them. I feel like something that a lot of teams don't do is give, I don't want to say criticism because I don't think that's the right word to use, but
feedback.
Yeah, it's feedback or preferences. Like personally, I try to get as many diverse shots as I can, and try to change it up as much as I can. Mm-hmm. But it's tough, and especially like depending on the layout, like it's something that a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people don't understand. It's like if it's a layout where you sit in your primary and you shoot 3 to 4 pods before you ever make a move, like that event, like you're not going to get a ton of pictures. Plain and simple.
Yeah. I actually have a story about that. Me and Bryce do actually. There was this one team, once again, I know not calling anyone out, no team names, nothing like that. But they always hired us for 3-man photos. This was at local events, MVPS, which was fine. Hire us for 3-man. That's okay. We'll take them. But after every event, they told us we didn't get enough shots of them diving, sliding, stuff like that. But we can't capture what you're not doing. They weren't diving. They weren't sliding.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
So somebody said it. They eventually stopped hiring us because we weren't getting enough of them. And from what I can tell, they haven't found a photographer that can get enough yet. because they're always hiring different photographers, and then they just stopped hiring people in general, and they weren't doing it. So if you want pictures of you diving, you sliding, stuff like that, dive and slide.
Yeah, you gotta do it. And if you want a lot of pictures, people will look at teams like, oh my god, they got so many pictures. Like, well, yeah, they're playing NXL. They made Sunday and they podiumed. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm shooting them all 3 days.
If you play 16 matches, you're going to get 16 matches of well, you'll get something similar. You know, if only one team of mine makes it through, I'm getting every single one of your finals matches.
Yeah.
So that's more points.
Yeah, and it's what a lot of people I feel like they don't know is that, especially like at NXL events, like it comes down to scheduling. Like we do the best that we can.
Then there's 10 fields. We can only do so much.
Oh. Well. shout out Solus Photography. Yo, did you get that sick pic of me diving even though I got shot out 3 steps off the box every point? Yes, I did, Matt. Yes, I did. And yes, I can see that it's you commenting this. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people, like some people will complain. It's like, I didn't get it. I didn't get a ton of pictures, dude. Like what happened? It's like, you played 3 points, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tried it. We tried it. Photographers will always try to shoot people. And like, I do the best I can to like see how many people are on a team and try to figure out like who I've shot and who I haven't shot. But there are just sometimes like, dude, if you only play like 2 or 3 points and like I just didn't see you walk on the field, or like I was laying down the other side of the field and I couldn't get to the other side, like it's just not happening. And it sucks because I've definitely been on that shit end of the stick before, where like I played an event and I played like 2 points, I didn't get any pictures, and like sometimes it's just like I don't even care about the pictures like at that point.
I've definitely, what I do to help combat that for me personally, I don't know if you do this, but I think I've even done it. If Justin's still watching, I've done it with Justin. If you know you're not going to play a lot, or I see you out there sitting down every point, whatever, just being pod boy or whatever, I'll ask you if you're going to play any points, because if you're not going to play any points, I don't have to worry about, you're on the schedule, but I don't have to worry about you specifically getting pictures because you're not playing. But if you sit there and tell me, yeah, I'm playing the next point, but I don't know if I'm going to play any more than that, I'm making sure I'm on for that next point, and I'm only focusing on you for that point so I can get you as many pictures as possible. And I said, I've done it for Justin.
Oh yeah, I've done that for friends, like at NXL events, like in my off time or whatever, and I'll go and try to shoot like a homie is like, dude, like you, and they're like the only dude, like I like shooting Pickle, like he is the only person I know on that team other than like Cal, who I kind of like for the most part really met at that event. He's like, Pickle, yo, you're going out of the field, I got you. I'm gonna shoot so many sequences of you. Don't even fucking worry about it. Like you're gonna have a ton of pictures for me because like I have downtime and like you're the only person I need to shoot like on that team because you're my only friend on that team. So like I can get you walking the whole field, and especially like they were playing well that match, so like he was staying alive. You know what I mean? So it's easy. And the better you are at paintball, the easier it is to get more content in you because you're not walking off the field.
Yeah. So we have a few more questions. 2 of them are video related, and I would really like to have Matt in here to answer them, but he's not going to be in here. So unless he wants to be, but I know he won't be.
I wish he would come. But hold on a second. Let's check the comments real quickly.
Feel free.
Verbal. 2 weekends ago, I had 3 dudes dressed the same with the same build. That sounds like a nightmare to try to get pictures of them.
Oh no,
that sounds horrible. Justin Reyes. I mean, the camera always loves him. Yes, it does. Yes. Please, we need to see another mermaid shoot with that mullet. 100%.
My gosh.
And
watch out for the calendar, the Justin Reyes calendar I'm doing.
The Justin Reyes calendar. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. Do4, I like paintball. I like you, Do4.
I like you.
I like you.
I like paintball, but I like you.
Yeah, I like paintball, but I like you. I like the whole Violence Media gang. And Matt is busy working because he's probably editing. He's probably doing what we should be doing, but
he's okay. Working.
Working.
Okay, so we can answer these at best of our abilities. We both shot video. Your editing is way better than mine, by far, outstanding.
For video?
For you. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says because no one says it. But
no.
Don't even do that. I think everyone liked your video from was it Philly last year?
I didn't even edit my Philly video last year. I did my Chicago video though.
The Chicago. Okay, it was Chicago then. Yeah, Chicago. Everyone liked it. So you know what to do too.
Hold on a
So
second. AJ, get any pics of me? Yeah, I got you getting shot. Yes, I do that all the time. All the time. I do that to my friends and anybody they shoot. I will always give them pictures of them getting shot 100%.
especially if it's like they get bunkered, I like giving I don't like
So
giving
good.
teams pictures like that, but I know that if I give it to them, somebody on that team is going to use it against them at some point, and they love that.
100%. 100%.
They love that. Shoot, AJ would be good to answer too because he's fully sponsored.
Fully sponsored, baby.
So that next question was, what are some good spots to stand to get pictures/video on D side? Because he noticed the only pictures he can really get is when they're moving because they're usually looking inside. And the way I would answer that is you just gotta catch them because they're going to be looking inside. That's pretty much what's going to happen. There, if you gotta get them moving, get them moving. Just do what you can to get that outside picture or video. But you know, it's just luck, man. If they're looking inside, they're looking inside. You can change the angle a bit, maybe shoot behind them, see what they're shooting at. If there's a person there, you might get a really cool shot of them shooting somebody or getting shot. Otherwise, they will eventually switch back to the outside, regardless of what the game plan is. If they hear somebody coming, they're gonna switch, regardless if they're supposed to. So you can get that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, also, what at least I do, I'm pretty sure you do, and a lot of the guys in the media gang do it. Like layout weekends, like go shoot layout weekends. 100% shoot layout weekends. Take that time to practice. Whoops.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Take that time to practice the layout. You know what I mean? Practicing the layout for players is probably just as important as photographers because you will find that there are certain places as a photographer or videographer, like you want to lay down because that's the right spot to get that certain diving picture going into whatever bunker. Or especially for raw footage, like I know I've talked to Matt about this, like there are certain spots on the field that he likes to be in on certain layouts because you get to see more of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that are important to what we do, especially because we give a service. You know what I mean? Yes, players are walk the field because they want to do well, but we need to walk the sidelines so we know where we need to be to get certain shots, whether it's for photos or for video. So that's probably the biggest thing that I always do is at least one weekend on the layout.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so the last serious question that we had, unless anyone in the comments had any. Also, Rob, you're out of focus.
Okay. Oh, God damn it. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there we go. Right, you like that? Here we go. Got some comments. AJ, sucks when it's a blind layout now for events like MSXL.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think WCPPL does the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam.
Gosh, I don't really know. I think they do release their layout, unless that was just for the reason. But I'm pretty sure they do.
I think it was on Wednesday. They release it like the Wednesday up.
Yeah, it's very very recent, but they do release it. But yeah, we don't get to shoot it.
Yeah. And then verbal. Yep. The last USXBL layout practice taught me the layout was so trash. Yep.
Yeah. I've experienced that where you can't stand anywhere without getting blown apart. Yeah. That's no fun at all.
I think USXBL was also the Tim Montressor layout, which I'm not a fan of. I'll say.
I've heard good things and bad things. I don't know.
Hot take. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know.
I mean, the thing, yeah, it's just, it is. I haven't yet even been onto any fields that have used it, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
Okay, so the last serious question that we had, as I said, once again, unless anyone asks anything in comments, is it better to record video from the side or in front of the person so you can get them from start to finish? Me personally, I know what he's saying. He's essentially asking, when someone's in front of you, like I'm filming you, would it be better for me to film you from 2 bunkers in front of you or directly next to you? Personally, for me, I prefer to film 2 bunkers in front of you. I'll start out next to you, off the break, but then I'll move so that way I can get in front of you. Because if you do a rundown or anything, if I'm still in that sideways all the way in the back, I'm not catching that rundown. So I like to follow you till the end. That's personally me.
I think it comes down to what you're doing. Are you shooting for raw footage, or are you shooting for an edit? You know what I mean? Are you taking pictures? Like what kind of pictures are you trying to take? Like for me personally, like when I take pictures, like if I know I have a certain amount of a certain picture, like, and I know that I'm comfortable with it, like I won't even shoot a breakout. I will go lay down in the spot just to wait for this guy to make this one specific move or something like that, because I'm looking for a very specific picture. And when you shoot for an edit, it's the same mentality. You're shooting for clips. You're not necessarily shooting for that raw footage.
Mhm.
Like you'll see, like with Matt, like when he shoots raw footage, he stays in the same spot pretty much the whole point. Maybe he'll move ever so slightly, but for
Mhm.
the most point, like when he's in a spot for that point, like he's there. He doesn't move. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's very much what are you shooting for, and that's really going to dictate how you're shooting that point.
That was way
Got another,
better than what I was going to say.
yeah, got another comment from Verbal talking about USXBL. They had 3 layouts and picked one. It was still the worst one from his perspective. Yeah, I bet.
All right.
What's going on? Focus, damn it.
Though you're in the dark, what do you expect it to happen, man?
I know.
That's why you're going to get lights. I mean, I don't have good lights, but I have lights.
Yeah.
So we have 3 questions, and they're, Justin's, Stretches, and Pickles. So which one do you want to answer first? Just give me a random name.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. They're so stupid, but I'm in it. I'm sucked in. Let's do it.
All right. Where are these mozzarella sticks I always hear about? That's Stretch.
Oh my God. The mozzarella sticks. Okay. So these mozzarella sticks. So as somebody that is technically not taking on teams and shooting my sponsor teams, my time is a little bit more free at events because I also use NXL events as a mini vacation. You know what I mean? I'm out. I got to shoot like maybe 3-4 teams, maybe 5 teams. Who knows? I think I maxed out at like 5 teams. But yeah, so I'll go out and I promise the whole media gang that as everybody's working their asses off, I will come out and bring mozzarella sticks and beers to the squad to keep them hydrated and fueled for the day. I tried to do it at NXL Vegas. Didn't really happen because nobody was selling mozzarella sticks. So kind of fucked me on that one.
They're a liars. One here. Did you bring us beers?
I didn't bring any beers. I'm sorry. You don't even drink beer, first of all.
I can though. I wasn't driving. Why wouldn't I?
I've never seen you drink a beer, first of all.
I have a picture of me drinking a beer.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you wouldn't because you didn't get it to me.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Also, the fact that the beer tent was not selling any liquor, I was not in a drinking mood. Honestly, I should have just bought like a bottle and just started drinking it. Just kept it in my backpack.
So Justin asked, "How big are your wangs?" And I'm not answering that.
Baby Bird Brigade, baby. Baby Bird Brigade.
All right. And the last thing we had from Pickle, which was, I heard you have to be a homosexual to be a part of the media gang. Is this true?
No, it's not.
No, but in Pickle's case, you do have to be.
100% in Pickle's case, you do.
Yes.
In general, no. We are open to anybody and anyone. I mean, the media gang is filled with people from America, Europe, Canada, men and women, and it is growing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
only Pickle's homosexual.
But only Pickle's homosexual, and I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole.
All right. That was it. That was all we had. So if anyone had any questions, feel free. But otherwise, we can end it here, I think.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat as of right now.
I do want to shout out everybody that watched us live. It is going to be a podcast episode, but shout out to you guys. It's like 2 weeks early. You guys are going to see it. So.
Yeah. So I'm curious to see how many views we actually have on this, and well, hopefully more to come. And we're going to be doing. What's I got one more question in here. What are good things to practice to maximize my field time someday? Have to play with my squad, but use the points I'm not playing to practice.
You have a lot more experience playing and shooting at the same time.
I do have a lot more experience practicing and playing. I will definitely tell you this. Practicing and playing events are definitely a no-go. Do not do that. I did that, and especially like if you're taking on teams, if you're shooting for fun at events is one thing, but if you're taking on teams, you'll never be in the right mind space, whether it's for photos or for playing. Because an hour before your matches, you're going to be like, oh shit, I need to stop taking photos. I need to get ready. And it's like, God damn it, I'm missing a match that I should be at and taking photos, and it's not good. And then when you're done with your match, while your team is going to be going to go do their team huddle and stuff, it's like, oh shit, I got to go back to work because I'm hired by people.
Yeah.
Do not do that. As for practice, the best way I see to maximize your time playing and shooting, one, it really depends if you have a lot of people on your team. Like if you got 10 guys like practicing, shoot, do not sit for like the first like third. Play every single point and then take pictures. Don't go back and forth. It's a nightmare. Play then shoot, or shoot then play.
Yeah.
I've tried both ways, and definitely doing one than the other is much better. Yes, Bryce, I am sitting in the dark. I hate you.
I can actually agree. I can actually agree with you as far as like events. If you're getting paid to shoot an event, don't play that event.
Yeah.
If now there's some leagues like I know MVPS, they play like D3 and D5 Saturday and then like D6, D4 Sunday, something like that. That's different. You can, if you're playing D4, you can shoot the other
because you're playing one day and you're shooting one day.
Yeah,
it's a totally different thing.
As far as practice, what I found, I actually quit playing because I wasn't getting any play time because I was doing photos and the team always wanted photos, stuff like that. So I agree with Rob on that. If you're going to be there to shoot and play until you're done. Like they'll understand if they have, as Rob said, if they have 10 people there to practice, they're going to understand that you're going to be taking pictures of them. They're going to want those pictures and they're going to let you play until you're ready to take those pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Even like on days that like I'm there to play, like I'll bring my camera bag with me and I'll play as much as I want. And like maybe Justin Mines will like take out my camera and take pictures, and that'll start it because like he'll be sitting a point because I'm playing, and then as soon it'll get to a point, he's like, all right, I'm done. Like guys, I'm taking pictures, and I'll make sure I get pictures of everybody. And in the comment, yes, Bryce, I'm sitting in the dark. I don't have a light. Okay, I hate you. As you sit and playing, yeah, I'll say it again. As he sits there and plays,
you hate Bryce twice.
Yeah, I hate Bryce twice as much. Okay, he doesn't want to edit the podcast when I ask him to. So.
Oh gosh,
he's got nothing to do. He doesn't have a job.
Speaking of the podcast, everybody that's here now, we would appreciate it if you would watch our John Christ episode. If you are hearing this instead of watching it, like if you're hearing on the podcast, it'd probably be the last episode. If you're watching it now, it's our next episode. So please watch it and listen to it. It's nice.
Please watch it, listen. It's cool perspective. He's a good homie, and he's been around the block for a while. But I think we're at 48 minutes right now.
Oh wow!
I don't see any more questions popping up. I think everything is good, and definitely want to keep doing this. Every now and then we'll do a little Q&A. We'll set up something on the Media Gang Facebook page or whatever, and to start intaking questions as people have them. Mm-hmm. And we'll do more Q&As. Hopefully we can get a little bit more people in the live chat so that we can answer some more questions live. But this has been good.
Yeah.
It's been really
good. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. This has been great. And till next time.